Mark the Guitar Guy here. We are going to be nailing the A chord, but with a twist. We're not just going to be doing any old A chord. That's boring. Mark the Guitar Guy we do things differently here at Mark the Guitar Guy. So here we have an A chord. If you don't know what an A chord is, go and check out my video on how to play A. Wow, what a title. Now we're going to do A, but sounding cool. So if you've looked at my chord on making the D chord sound more awesome or more interesting or whatever the hell title we gave that, by taking the finger off and putting it on again, we're going to be doing the same thing for an A. So the first note to be able to take off and on for an A chord, now I've got a typical 3-fingered A chord down in the first position. I'm going to take off my third finger to make that second string an open string, okay? So if I was to tab that out, the top string's nothing, I've got 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, okay? So there's only two fingers on for the A chord. But I'm starting with an A, just taking my fingers off and putting them on again, okay? So that's the first thing to do. Programming the feeling of taking that finger off and putting it on again. Do it over and over, repeat that process many, 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 many times so that you can feel what that feels like, and at the same time, you can hear what that sounds like, because that's important. There's a correlation between your mind hearing it and how it feels, okay? Really important for programming. So here's A, finger off, on, on. And so if we put that into a song, you would take it off or on in the strum. So if we did a strumming pattern like that down, down, up, down rock strum that we do, we could do it on the upstroke. Okay, that sounds interesting already just by doing that little A suspended. By the way, that's an A suspended 2 by taking our finger off. Anytime you change a chord, it changes the name technically, but I don't want to get too technical. I just want you to be able to play some cool sounding variations of these chords. So here's A and finger off. Now, the ways to make that interesting was we can take it off, or we can start with it off and put it on. So if we have a song that's got the D, for example, and an A in it, and every time we come to that A, we have a lot of choices, and it's up to you. There's no rules on when it should or shouldn't be on. You can just experiment yourself and do a lot of this, by the way, so that you can make the chord progression more interesting for you. So in other words, every time you come to that, it can be different. So you should never ever get bored of a song that's only got 2 chords. Instead of just playing D, A, D, I want to shoot myself in the head, in the face. I want to. If that's how you're feeling when you're playing these songs, you aren't doing the cool things I'm teaching you right now. Here's a D chord. We've got our cool little idea that if we've done the D chord one, our bottom finger comes off, same with the A. Here's the A, note off. So let's do a chord progression, the same one, D and A. So here's D, off and A. D, I'm just doing the same for each one. All of a sudden, there's a melody within the chords that's happening, and that's happening automatically. The more you program that, the more that'll just happen. Even if you're singing along, which is another thing we'll learn about in later videos, even if you're singing along, your hands will naturally play around with these chords when they get to them, because they'll get kind of fidgety, and you won't just want to play D and A, or whatever the chord is. So, other ways of making the A sound interesting. We can do the thing where it's the opposite of that, was off, the note's off, or maybe D's just ordinary, and then A starts with 2 fingers, and we add a note. Up to you, totally up to you. Or we can do a hammer on. So you need to practice the hammer on. It's very hard to hear when I strum it like that. Really accented there. Get really good at doing hammer-ons, by the way, guys. It's going to help you playing hugely. So here's an A with the hammer on. I'm getting carried away with that. I'm doing it all over the place, but you can do that too. Experiment with it. Hammer on the same note. So we can make it. So I'm just doing the same strumming pattern, D and A, yet it doesn't sound like just 2 boring chords, which is... Okay, now if you're asking yourself, when can I start doing this? Do I need to learn A really well first? No, once you've got your A chord under your fingers and you know how to play an A, straight away try these ideas out. You can do this immediately. So with that tip in mind, anytime you come across an A chord in a normal position, why not try that little idea and just make the chords more interesting for yourself? If you like my videos, if you like listening to this Kiwi accent and listening to my awful ideas on how to play guitar, then you should subscribe below. Make sure you like the lessons, make sure you comment, and I'd love to hear from you. I read every single comment. And it's great to see you again, guys. We'll catch you again for another one of these awesome tips on how to make cool chords.